Well, I still have a bunch of ghosts in the garden, but everything fared well and survived the cold temps. Welcome to Garden Days. Actually, today is beautiful, nice and sunny, other than the wind is a bit chilly. But I thought I would get into the garden and just check a few things out. I have some things I need to get done. I'm just glad we were able to get these covers on and the fruit trees survived the cold temps. But it's not over yet. We do still have several days of nighttime temperatures that fall below freezing. So we're going to keep the trees covered up. Speaking of all the trees, I did go to town the other day and bought fertilizer. I got the veggie and food forest garden fertilized and this half of the front garden. But on that side, I still need to fertilize, which shouldn't take me too long. I want to go ahead and get that done. It's not the best time to be doing it with the cold weather, but it'll be there and I won't have to do it later because the fertilizer won't start breaking down until it warms up anyways. Like I said, everything that had the frost cloth, I just left on because it is breathable. And so is this stuff, but it shades it too much. So I uncovered things like the rose and this small fig. And I had some grapevines over here and up front as well that I uncovered. But yeah, I'd say everything's looking good. No frost damage at all. Tonight is going to be the coldest night, I believe, in the forecast. But I was just wanting to glance and look over. I have some daffodils coming up. And this tulip was blooming, but I think something ate the bloom off of it. Darn. But at least I still have the daffodil bloom. And there are things that are starting to come up, but nothing looks damaged. I haven't glanced over the whole garden, so I'm going to take a walk around real quick. Oh, look it. The echinacea is coming up. How nice. This one is the Prairie Blaze. Awesome. Yeah, I don't really see any leaf burn on any of the plants. These daffodils are done blooming, but the leaves will stay. That way they can get energy into the bulbs for next season. There is one thing that I saw that got affected by the cold, and I possibly should have covered it up, is this quince here. Yeah. And maybe I'll cover it up tonight so it doesn't get any more damage. It's got one little bloom on it. It's supposed to be orange, but that actually looks red. One thing I was worried about was my lilac, and I did read on it and said that the frost could damage the blooms, but it looks really good. Doesn't look like any damage at all. And there's hoverflies flying around it, which is awesome. That's the bridal memory. Everything in here seemed to fare nicely, even the new plantings, the violas, but they're pretty cold hardy. And even the pin cushions. And this new planting here, which I love. I can't wait for it to fill out this pot. Oh, this is one thing I forgot to uncover, is this new climbing rose. Let me go ahead and get that uncovered. Get some light on you. Oh, it's stuck. All right, that looks pretty good. No damage on that. I'm so happy about that. Oh, I left my shovel here. I need to put that up. I did put up some of my potted plants, but the rest of them I thought would be fine, and they are. This is something that I want to work on. I'm not sure if I'll get to it in this video, but cleaning up the compost area. These bins need to be tidied up, and I'm going to take the wood chipper here to help break down some of the larger stuff. I think I'm just going to put everything through the wood chipper. That way it's in smaller pieces and it'll be more manageable. But one good thing is that most of this stuff is completely dried out, so it should be easy to deal with. Ugh. Yeah, definitely need some tidying up. I even just stacked some of the limbs over here from when I cut some off of that juniper, which is eventually going to go away because I want fruit trees there instead of that. I've never given an update on my chicken coop, but maybe someday I'll get chickens again. But they are a responsibility. I'm not here in the winter, so right now it just doesn't work out for me. But it's still in use. When I have friends visit and they have dogs that they need to put somewhere, we do keep them in here because it's completely sealed off and nothing can get in or out. Let's see. Okay. And I do need to clean this out. Wow, yeah, that's been several years. Everything in the front garden looks good besides this blue point juniper, which definitely needs to be replaced or cut back. I see new growth coming through. I don't know if it'll survive, but the top is completely dead. So maybe I can trim it up and see what happens with it, but we'll see how that goes. One thing I forgot to do in my last video was cut out this bloom, but someone said just pull it out. So that's what I'm gonna do. There we go. Throw it on the ground. Good to go. Let it rot in place. If I didn't do that, it would focus on the flower stalk and the plant would suffer. This is the fertilizer that I got, a Spoma Garden Tone. So I'm gonna grab this and get to fertilizing. Ugh. All right, well, I'm done and I have plenty more left for a second feeding later this season. Okay, all these trees are done. And since the daffodils were done blooming, I went ahead and fertilized those so the bulbs could size up. I did that last time. But yeah, everything here is done. I did the lilac, even the pine tree, and the elm tree that my friend gifted me, or my neighbor, Jake. I'm happy to have that in the garden. This is another blue point juniper that's dying off, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I am definitely gonna replace it, but I think what I want to do is cut it back and see what happens, because on one side there's still plenty of green growth. The rose I fertilized in a different video, and I got that nectarine tree over there. I hate this is blowing in the wind. I went ahead and tucked that nectarine tree there just so it wasn't blowing in the wind. But I want to do this similar to what I'm going to do to one of my apple trees and make an arch out of it. It's going to go over here and connect over to this side. And I think that'll be very pretty to walk through a nectarine arch as you're going through that gate. I fertilized this cypress tree and it had struggled all last season. It had a lot of dieback, but it's looking good now. I don't see any more dieback. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping it'll do better this season. And the rest of everything else that's in here doesn't need fertilization besides the quince. And in my mom's memorial garden, I fertilized the choke cherry and also the jujube. And I have a jujube around the corner I fertilized as well. Doesn't that sound lovely? I decided to go ahead and fertilize these Blue Point junipers. Now, normally junipers don't need fertilization, but since they are new to this spot and one was struggling, I thought, might as well go ahead and give them a little help. And that's pretty much it. Besides this blue cedar, I have never fertilized this, but I decided to go ahead and start doing it this year because it is getting growth on it. It's just always been pretty slow. Hopefully the fertilizer will help it grow more. I do see new growth on it, which is nice. Some things that I thought might be affected by the cold, I put in my guest quarters and I'll leave them there until after the frost. I do want to go ahead and get some of these planted out just so they're not in pots. They fare better if they're in the ground. We'll start with this Italian cypress, something I got when I was traveling. It's right there at my zone. We rarely get below 0. Sometimes, but it's rare. Like I said, we get to -2 because we're a 6B is what we're considered. So hopefully this will survive, but I want to go ahead and get it in the ground. And if this survives, I'll definitely plant more of these. They're so beautiful, tall, and give amazing structure in the garden. So back here, next to my mom's memorial garden, is an empty spot right in here. And I thought it would look really nice in here and fill out this space. They don't get very wide, but they do get tall. Okay, I got some fertilizer and amendment. This spot has been amended since there was already a plant here. And I've dug it out, so I'm just going to use a shovel and not my auger. I don't really have to dig it out that much because I'm going to plant it kind of high. Let's pour the amendment around. Just dig a little bit back. That should be good. Don't want to bury it too deep. They do like for it to be well drained. Okay, some starter fertilizer. Let's go ahead and give it another handful. Water that in. Should water the plant too. All right. It's kind of crooked a little bit. Okay. That looks pretty good. I have to put some drip here as well. So I'll be doing that. There's a few other plants that I've added that I need to add drip in. Let's go ahead and water it in one more time. All right, clean up my mess and we'll be good. I did take the ties off, but I left the stake in. As you can see, it's leaning a little bit to the left, and I just want it to get a bit stronger. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now, and if I feel like I have to tie it back up, I will. Okay, I have the loppers out. I'm gonna take a look at this and see what needs to be done. Yeah, there's quite a bit of dead stuff in here. Oh, it's so pokey. Pokey, pokey, pokey. So let me just get the loppers. And if I have to dig this plant out, I will. This looks completely dead. Yeah, that is completely dead. So, let's see. Oh, this is pokey with the gloves on. Oh, maybe I need to get my pruners. Yeah, I'm not sure about this plant. It's definitely got a lot of dead in it. But I can always just clear this away. See, this whole side over here is fine. I don't know, sometimes I try to save plants and they necessarily aren't going to be saved. Yeah, I need something other than this. I think it's time to toss these garden gloves and get new ones. They have a bunch of holes in them. But they lasted me a couple seasons, so that'll be the next thing I get. Well, it's definitely not the prettiest plant, but it looks much better than it did. And like I said, I can always move this to a pot and just keep it trimmed back. I would say it looks 100% better than it did though. Let's just add to the pile. Ugh, there might not be any help for this one, but you know what? What do I have to lose? It's gonna die anyways if I do nothing, so let's just cut that off. Just this one stalk. And I was thinking maybe something would form up and become the leader other than that. And I feel like it was trying to focus on this. There's still a little green in the back there. And these need to be cut off because they're dead. Okay. Aw, poor thing. Like I said, what do I have to lose? Now I can focus on this. And if it becomes a wonky looking juniper, then I'm okay with that. If it survives, that'll be amazing. So let's see how this goes. I'll give you an update in a couple weeks or a month. Okay, let's get rid of the evidence. Get rid of it. We don't want anybody to know. More to add to the compost pile. Everybody keep your fingers crossed for my poor juniper. But I just want to take a look at the elm tree. Look at that. It's leafing out really nicely. I planted this at the end of last season, and I'm really excited about this tree. Hopefully she gets nice and big. I do have to water all my trees in, but I usually use gray water when I do that. This is just specifically from the laundry machine, and I did do, I think, 3 loads of clothes the other day, so there's plenty of water in there. Oh, look at this wildflower growing. Isn't that cute? I went over to ask Jeff if he would help me with this compost area because I'm going to get to it today. And I saw that cute little flower just growing. You don't know how much I'm dreading this, but I really am. It seems like it's going to be a lot of work. But I think the main thing is getting the wood chipper going because I don't even think we used it last season. So that's the first thing, is to see if we can get that thing started. Hopefully it goes, fingers crossed. Later on down the road, I was thinking about turning this into a little orchard, just a 2-row orchard. All right, well, at least we kept it covered, so rain didn't mess with it. Hopefully there's no rodents in here. I doubt it though. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that wind is awful today. Let's see. All right. I smell gas. I don't see gas. I think we did run it dry just so gas wouldn't be left in it. All right. Has these little handles back here. You just lean it back and push. Oh. Okay. A little awkward. Watch out, Kellogg. Okay. There we go. All right. All the way, yeah. That's smart. Until we get it started. It's been so long, I forget how it even goes. Most of these things have a choke. Oh, right here. Okay, oh, I can't read that. Oh, on, okay. So we had the gas, on all this time. And that's choke. Oh, look at the dust. You can tell this thing hasn't been started in a while. You want me to pull? It's probably, oh, why is that leaking? Uh-oh, something's leaking. We have a leak right here. I thought it was coming from one of the bolts, but it's actually coming from up here, and Jeff thinks it's a gasket. Yeah, there's a bunch of gas leaking out of there. Could have been dried up since it's been sitting for a long time. So we might have to replace that before I can do this, which is unfortunate. I want to check the oil and make sure it's still good. Oh yeah, it's on my finger. Probably could be topped off a little bit. At least that's good. So we just have to fix that. All right, let's see. It almost started for a second there. One garden chore Jeff's getting to is the anemometer is getting stuck, which measures the wind speed. So he's gonna grease it up and see if that helps. There you go. That's our weather station here. It's online, so we can check what the weather is even if we're not here. Moo, no compost today. Oh well, we'll get to it. Well, we'll have to work on that later, but I guess I could go ahead and finish the video with just using the gray water to water in all the trees, and then at least that will be done. And in several days, when it warms up, I can get all the trees uncovered. I do like how this system works. The only thing I wish it was a bit more automated, that we had pipes along here that ran to different trees, and I could just stick it in each pipe, because I've developed a little bit of a tennis elbow last season, and it still bothers me. It just recently bothered me. But I've been doing stretches and stuff, so I've been carrying the bucket with this arm now, so I'm going to have double tennis elbow. Just joking. I'm going to try to get a little bit of an automatic system going. That way I don't have to lug these heavy buckets around. Normally it's a 5-gallon bucket, but this one's not as bad since it's a 2.5-gallon bucket. It's not as heavy as the 5-gallon. Yeah, but that's a project for this season, is getting this more automated, so that way I don't have to lug around the heavy buckets. Not to mention, it's better to go ahead and use it and not have it sit around, because then it can start to stink. So each tree gets a bucket full, and this will help settle in the fertilizer. Maybe instead of putting the orchard over there, I can put an orchard over here and use the gray water for that. That's an idea. Okay, I think it's time for a time lapse. This is going to be a process. Oh, that sun feels amazing. It's actually time to go walk the dogs, but I don't know if I mentioned this. I do use biocompatible soap instead of biodegradable. It's just like biodegradable except minus the salts. And the trees can usually handle a little salt, but salt can build up and we don't get a lot of rain. So I prefer biocompatible. Not to mention on biocompatible soaps, I can pour it directly onto plants and it won't bother them because it doesn't have the salts in it. Because not all plants are salt tolerable. But I'm definitely glad that garden chore is done because fertilizing can be a pain sometimes. But it wasn't too bad this time. I think I'm getting used to the process. All this was done. Like I said, I did this half earlier, so I didn't need to do it again, but I didn't water them in, so that's what I did this time. I just fertilized them. And the only two plants left to fertilize, or sorry, trees, were these two, which is the apple and the almond. These three over here had already gotten watered the other day, so I didn't have to worry about those. Well, everyone, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, but Mumu was like intently staring at me. I see you staring at me, lady. You're just going to have to wait a few more seconds. Look, she looks very disgruntled. Anywho, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to hype the video, that would be amazing. And also, if you want to check out more videos, they'll be over here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so right there. See you next time. Happy gardening. Oh my, I forgot. I've got to go by and cover everything because it's going to be colder tonight than it was last night. So everything must be covered.